So I'd like to introduce Mormor.
Good morning, everybody, and well, yeah, let's get started. This is the drawing I did for the project, but yeah, simple thing. This is how it all started actually. It seems, I don't know, it might seem a bit tacky, but I started putting out my grandma's old china in the city surroundings for a starter, and I did that to get into the street art scene, and I took the name Mormor, it means grandma. I did that as a tribute to my own grandma. She's a very cool lady. Yeah, let's take the next one. Actually, I did this quite a lot of places. This is obviously London. And in 2009, a good friend and I, we started, well, I don't know, it seemed like putting up china in the city surroundings basically very fast disappeared. But I did it actually just to get a feel of my own grandma's, like whenever I'm meeting her, we're always like drinking coffee and, you know, it's like the big Sunday table coming out. So I just wanted to present that in the city surroundings. But basically we started up putting paste ups after that, and I guess some of you know some of that stuff still out there, I guess. This is another example. Yeah, but that was, yeah, it's been a few years actually since we started with that. This is my first exhibition in Copenhagen. It's Copenhagen Art Fair, and it's very small, and it was on cardboard, and yeah. But it was fun to do, really. It was a good thing, and there were a lot of people. It was just my small space, I guess. Let's take the next one, yeah. And then I had my first solo in 2010, and I had around, I was counting, I think I had, let's see how much. I think it was 11 or something. Yeah, 11 shows that year. Let's take the next one. Well, this one is from a recent exhibition I had in Aarhus. It's called Storbyliv, Big City Life. It's a portrait of this town, obviously. Let's take the next one. This is Tokyo, but it was an exhibition about big city life and my favorite cities in the world. And this is Copenhagen. If you need me to move a bit, you just say so. Yeah, well, I'm going to talk a bit about doing mixed projects. I do a lot of different stuff when I'm not doing exhibitions. I'm decorating a lot of different medias, and I'm really trying to get out there with different stuff. Yeah, let's take the next one. This is a poster I did in 2010 for Give Blood Denmark. It was a fun thing to do, really, because it's very fun. The poster is a good media for me to use because I get my stuff out there, and I can somehow help without putting money out of my own pocket. I can actually help people and give attention to a good project. This is a book cover I did for, it's a book about street art, and it's a book about an exhibition I was a part of in Køge Kunstmuseum. So that's another example where I just try to get my stuff out there. Let's take the next one. This is a poster I did for the youth house, the PET in Copenhagen last year in December, and it was a fun thing to do because it's just getting my name out there, I guess. It was in a lot of the streets in Copenhagen a few months ago. So yeah, this is an article I did about. Well, I didn't write it. I just did the illustration, and it's a fun thing to just. That's actually just another media, really. But it's I just recently started this, and it's a good way just to again get your stuff out, I guess. Well, the wall paintings is also a part of my job, and it's something I really enjoy doing. It's something I did recently, actually. It's just I started my first wall painting was in Museum, and it was somehow I found it quite easy just to scale my things up. So yeah, that's what I did. Let's take the next one. You might know this one. It's from the Art Cinema Paris, East of Eden. That one took 3 days making. I think it's over just around about 10 meters long, something like that. But it's basically I just wanted to make the stairways just a bit more fun to look at, I guess. But yeah, I also did this one at my last exhibition. It was it's just the Chrysler building. It's in New York. I just wanted to tip that down. Let's take the next one. But basically, it's very long and very big. But I really enjoy architecture, and I just enjoy playing with that media and just trying to transform my own stuff and just scale it out, really. Let's take the next picture. It can be hard just to see on a picture how big it is, but it's quite big. But also it's just to get some kind of attention to the exhibition from the outside streets, I guess. Yeah, and I do a lot of private paintings in people's home. It's just a fun way, really, for me to, because I sit a lot at home and just work all day. But this is a good way just to get out. This one I did in Museum, and it was the first one I ever did. And well, it was just fun. This is almost 8 meters long, so it's good. Well, I'm also going to talk a bit about the media. I really tried to get like attention, I guess, not in a bad way, but if people didn't know I was here, I wouldn't make a living of it. So it's just basically, of course, there's my homepage. It's just everybody needs a homepage, I guess, but I get a lot of jobs through there, actually. And that's why I need to update it quite soon as well, I guess. Yeah, of course, I also use Facebook. It's a very good media just to reach people very fast. If I'm doing a new project, I can always just like write people like, hey, come and see this, come and see that. And it's just, I really try to involve people in that group. And yeah, hopefully it's working. Yeah, I'm also a blogger for the best art blog in Denmark, I Do Art. And I started out as one of the first ones, and it's really been fun, and it's really been a good way for me just to get my stuff out. And I'm so thankful that I'm a part of that media. It's very good. Yeah. Recently, I got my first iPhone app. It's quite fun. I can just people can download it for free on iTunes, and I just put up like the new stuff I did. It's only 20 pictures, but it's just fun, you know. I talked to them a few days ago, and turns out there's over 400 people so far who has it all over the world. So it's a good way to get out there. It doesn't cost me anything, but it's just another way just to get my stuff out, and it's just, you know, another media for me to use. And I really try to use the new medias. Yeah. I'm going to talk a bit about the projects I'm doing right now. Yeah, let's take the next one. Right now I'm a judge at Catch 12 in Aarhus. It's sort of an art fair with young art. People from 10 to 18 or 19, they can come and do their art thing, and we'll pick out the best. And there's a vernissage here in the 17th, but it's gonna be very good. It's been so fun for me just to meet all these young people and just talk about art all day. It's a good place for me to work. Yeah. Next Friday, I have well, actually it's the first t-shirts I ever really did. There are more coming this year, but this will be some of the first ones that I'm doing with BB Chimneys down in Vestergade. It's gonna be quite nice. She's a designer from Greenland, so I just tried to expand with that theme, and I'm really trying to do illustrations that like symbolize Greenland, I guess. So you're all very welcome, like next Friday, to come and have a beer if you like. Well, I'm going to talk a bit about Germany. In 2 months' time, I'm going to Germany for exhibitioning at a big art fair called Stroke. It's an urban art fair, and it's really been kind of a dream for me just to go abroad with my stuff, and really I would just love to go traveling with my work, and that's what I'm doing here for the first time. It's very, very good, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm also going to Berlin for October, the same art fair. They first they're in Munich, and then they go to Berlin, and yeah, it's all good. It's gonna be fun. Oh yeah, there is North Side as well. This year I'm decorating all the backstage areas of Northside. I have to do a very big wall, and I have to decorate all of the area. I shouldn't really go into too many details about that, but I'm very excited about it as well. Yeah. Right now I'm working on my first paint book, and it's going to be on iPad and iPhone. Basically it's fun media to work with, and I think it's going to look brilliant, really. So I'm very excited about that. It's gonna take a few months' time before it's like ready, but it's a fun media. I always wanted to do a kids book. I never really knew it would be an iPad, the first one, but the heck, why not? Yeah. Well, being my own boss, it's something you have to get used to, I guess. I've been working with this full time for the last year or so, and it's the first time that I'm like in charge of what I'm doing, but I really, really enjoy doing that because, well, I am a hard boss, I guess, because I work a lot. But I tried something new. It's called having time off in the weekends, and it works really well for me, actually. It's very nice. But it means that I'm in charge of all the projects I do, and it means that I'm very dependent on myself and the people I know. But it's very comforting for me somehow to be my own boss, you know, because I really get the best out of it. I really think, yeah. This is my next exhibition. It's called Royal. It's a theme about really the royal Danish family and the architecture of royal Danish families and their castles. This is a big one. Yeah, let's take the next one. This is Rosenborg. It's gonna be very fun to do this one, actually. It's gonna go, I think it's the very design should be around summer this year, but yeah, hopefully. But it's been a lot of work, and it's very, very fun for me to do. So I just wanted to show you a bit of that, really. But I'm very, very much into architecture, so it's just a way to me to explore, and I really, really learned a lot about Denmark, just like through reading about the history of the Danish royal family. It's quite interesting, and there's a lot of stuff there that I didn't really knew before. This is Daisy. You probably know some of these guys, but I'm doing all of the members of the royal family, all the kings and all the queens, and it turns out there is like 53 of them. So it's hard work, but it's really fun, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. And that's actually it. Yeah. I have a lot on my mind about architecture. It's 4 years ago I tried to get into the School of Architecture in Aarhus, and I almost got in, but I didn't really get in. And that's quite okay. But I've found a way. I guess it's a very personal way to work with architecture, really, and I never really was very fond of straight lines anyway, so I think it's a good thing. Straight lines. So, but it's architecture for me. It's just like it's very important that the architecture in the city, it has like a certain vibe and a history, and I really enjoy going into that theme. My latest exhibition was the Big City Life was very much about architecture actually, and the next one is also going to be very much about architecture in an old-fashioned way.
In what way can you?
Well, it's going to be a study of the old castles in Denmark. So it's going to be it's a very strict theme, really.
Historical.
Yeah.
In a fun way.
Yeah, and I read a lot about each castle actually, so I can just create my own image of it somehow. This is the most colorful I'll ever get, really. It was kind of a rule for me just to try and create, see how much I can create without any colors. And I guess it's a style that's very popular these days, but it's just, for me it was fun to see how can I get a feel of, for example, texture in fashion ways, just without using any colors. And it's actually setting boundaries for my own creativity. It makes me think in new ways, and it's a fun thing for me not to use any colors and see how far I can take that. I haven't done street art for quite a while. I love street art, but that's not what I'm doing now, and it's interesting to me, but it's not really something that I do anymore because I've done it so much, and it's not really where I want to be right now, and I think I had the thrills with that, and it's time for me to move on somehow. I get my thrills in other ways now, so you probably won't.
Next slide.
But it's always been an interest for me, and I follow the scene very closely. But no, you won't. It started out. It's a name I took really just, I guess, as a tribute to my own grandma. She's a very, very cool person, and she has like these sense of values that I really enjoy in a person. And also it was because I wanted to do something different in the street art scene. I wanted really to put out her china, or not her china, but some I bought like that, just to create kind of the mood you have in a private space with your own grandma, just sitting there having coffee and stuff, just out in the public. And I took the name into drawing as well. So I kept that name, I guess, and I still have it. But it's not like I'm not a secret person anymore because I don't really do street art, but it's a very big part of my history, and I really enjoy that. And I guess some people seem to enjoy it too, so I'm very happy with that. But I kept the name, but I also have my own name now, and I stand out with my face and all that because I don't know, it's not my thing to be anonymous when I'm not like doing that full time anymore. So. Well, if we're talking about the very private homes of people, I guess not many people are gonna be able to see that. But I'm very good at like exposing it online. But there's a place like parties, for example, or a lot of different places where I have big paintings up in public space. But it's not really in the streets, but it's very public still. So I guess that's a way of doing it too, really. Well, actually, it's very nerve-breaking. It's very, I have to be very concentrated when I'm doing it. It takes a lot of time, but it's something I have to be very concentrated about because if I fuck up, I'll fuck up like everything. So it's been a good experience, and so far it's been very well, and I'm very much on the project. I'm going to Roskilde and Copenhagen in 2 weeks to do 3 paintings over there. It's going to be good, but I'm very tired afterwards, and it takes a lot of time. So it's hard work, but it's fun, and it's going to stay there for a very long time as well. So it's a good thing to do. Well, I've always been very much into details, and I really thought details make a picture look cooler, and I really try to put in an effort every time I'm painting. And I really try to take the time with each painting, really just to, And I think putting time into something makes it look better a lot of times, I guess. So it's been a way for me to work with taking the time and making the details. And I found my own set of details that I want to use like throughout everything really. But I'm very, very much into fashion. I think it's very interesting, and also architecture. So that is like the ground themes, I guess, and also the types of people you can meet. I really want to try to make those as well, I guess. Actually, I've never done a sketch. I've never done a sketch. I don't sketch at all. It's a learning process, and every time I'm doing a new thing, I get better, I guess. But I've never done sketching. No, it's not my thing. I could talk about myself all day, and that's really the first drawing I did. I was trying to make a joke actually about how much I talk about myself and my work because I'm so much into it. But it's really sometimes I just talk too much. So, well, basically, I guess it is drawings. I just recently started out working with really like old school paintings, but it is drawings or illustrations that I do, but I tend to call it paintings. It took a year or so to find the materials that I want to use, but now I know it's very thin liners, and it's of course Posca and it's acrylic, but it's just basically it's the same stuff I use also on the walls really. So I think I found the materials that I want to continue with. Well, it's a fun question to get because people, they always tend to link the two of us, because I guess the first stuff he did on the streets was having those big black and white things with the big fat marker around it. And I guess he was like, I don't know, a founding father of all street art in Denmark. And I would be lying if I didn't say so, because he really is. He was a big inspiration to me. But I would say mainly the different stuff. We work with different themes, and I believe that he's working with a lot of colors and paintings, really regular paintings. But also I try to be different in the way that I use details. And actually I think my interests are not in the same place as him. So a lot of people, they put a link between us, and there is a certain link, but there is, well, I guess it's really about me, because everything I do it's basically about me. It sounds very self-centered, but I just prefer working in that way. And I'm a very strict person, really, personally. I really enjoy like clean lines, and that's how I prefer it. And it's also, for me, working is very strict. It's a regular day job for me. I sit and work for as many hours as I need to. It's not like I have to get some kind of inspiration first. It's always there, actually. So doing dirty stuff, it was never really my thing. It didn't look very cool, I think. But it works for some people, but not me, I guess. Okay, thank you everybody for coming out. I'm very glad you did.